Hey, it's Deep Focus. Mitch Goldman with you. It's August 18th, 2025, a Monday night. You're not in Deep Focus yet, but you're about to be. This is part 3 of 3 parts of this show. And Bob Dee, fantastic guitar player, is my guest, talking about another fantastic guitar player, Jef Lee Johnson. The two of them played together in Ronald Shannon Jackson and the Decoding Society. Go back to part 1 of the 3 parts, and you will hear them on stage together, playing live. Stunning to me that this even exists, and it is significant, and it's beautiful. But right now, we are at the Knitting Factory, and Jeff's leading his own jam. And it's more than a jam, actually, because this is a track from his album Blue. But all right, we're going to get right into it. Okay, you're going to hear me introducing it again, but you'll be up and running in no time. All right, it's Deep Focus, Jef Lee Johnson. We're listening to this. Deep Focus is on the magnificent Jef Lee Johnson. We are listening to a live set from the Knitting Factory, 1996, and great thanks for the research assistance from Charles Blass, WKCR Mighty alum. You might hear him if you're passing through Zurich, where he's still doing radio to this day and still sharing the love for all the music that he was known for here and beyond. So let's go back to the Knitting Factory. Jef, it's all yours, buddy. Take it away.
Down around for grape piccolo. And go on the street and get somebody else grape piccolo, please.
Well, that's a little master class right there on everything that can be done with a guitar.
Yes.
Jef Lee Johnson just did. And then he came up with like 17 more.
Amazing.
The show's called Deep Focus. That's obviously a live recording of... It's obviously a live recording. That was Jef Lee Johnson. And we're coming back to it in a bit. Trio recording 1996 at the Knitting Factory down on Leonard Street here in NYC. And our laser-like attention was drawn to Jef Lee Johnson by Bob Dee. If you've been listening to the show from the beginning, you heard Bob and Jef playing together in the band of Ronald Shannon Jackson. If you didn't, you're going to want to go and find that when it comes out on the Deep Focus podcast in a couple of weeks. But Bob... we were agape, and also a shout out to all the guitar players. David Gilmour getting in touch, and some other folks who were agog.
Yeah.
And what now?
Well, you got to be in awe of the cat, man. I mean, really, just come on, man. I mean, he's using his fingers. He's got this legato stuff. He's got the harmonics going. Real clean sound into a really nasty, dirty sound. With some, then on top of that, he put some harmonizer or whatever that was. I think it was some type of harmonizer on top of that, and digs into that, and then gets out of the harmonizer and pulls back a little bit, and then a little bit back, and then a delicate touch again. He's just freaking masterful, man. Really, really masterful. You know, I mean, he just used all everything he could. And it really has just a touch of his touch on the instrument. It's just amazing, you know. And that's a lot of the acts, man. Is how you play it, you know. And I remember him saying something to me once, saying, "Let your guitar do more of the work, man. You're working too hard. Let the guitar do some work."
That's really interesting because you know, I'm listening to that thinking, and I don't know, I don't play. It really sounds like it's in his fingers.
Yeah, a lot of it is. I mean, it really is. It's the touch.
Yeah.
You know, because no other cat can pick up the guitar with that sound, and it's not going to sound the same. So, you know, he's the type of cat like we were talking about earlier, Jeff Beck, that he was a big fan of Jeff Beck's. And he's another type of cat that you listen to a guy like that, and if you listen to him play, it's like you hear for 2 minutes, a minute, and it's like, oh, that's Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
And same thing with Jef. It's like if I hear Jef for 30 seconds, it's like, oh, that's Jef Lee Johnson. I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got that very unique personal touch. It's the way he plays, and nobody else plays like that. And nobody else I've ever heard has played like that since. So, you know, he's an amazing cat, man. He really was.
One of the interesting things you said off mic, I'm going to ask you to go through this again a little bit. There was a part, actually it was that previous song, if you're keeping track of all this, before we came to the Knitting Factory, we were playing that downtown set. I believe that was a song he wrote called RSJ.
Yes.
We can assume for
Ronald Shannon Jackson, probably.
The same.
Yeah.
And there were some really huge moves in dynamics and tempo.
Yeah.
They were really laying back on the tempo.
Oh, the tempo is... Dot. I mean, we're talking about, I don't know, what is it, 40 on the metronome?
Yeah. And you said that's actually...
If that, 50 maybe.
As hard to do as...
That is hard. It is hard to hold back a tempo like that. It can be very hard to hold a tempo like that. A lot of cats are like, oh, I could play really fast. Well, can you play like this? Man, I mean, that is very difficult to do. And to make it sound interesting. And to develop it the way he did. You know, coming from nothing to this pinnacle, and then, I mean, you heard the applause after. I mean, people, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You listen to that, and when you're there, it's very, it's just inspiring when you're there and you hear the cat play. Hey, I was on stage with it. I'm inspired. I'm on stage and listen to this. And listen to Jef play, and it's like, damn, man, this guy's he's got it all together, man. It's really something else.
Yeah.
Really just...
Yeah, we are celebrating the music of Jef Lee Johnson tonight. It's Deep Focus. This is really the joy of doing this show for me, because, I always ask, like, hey, what are we going to play? What are we going to talk about? And sometimes I'm learning something new, and sometimes, like this, it's someone whose music I've taken so much joy in over the years, and to be able to share it with people like this, thank you for that, Bob.
Thank you for having me, Mitch. This was a great get together, and a lot of fun, and just so great to listen to so much of his music and and contribution to the music world and what he left for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, well,
really
we ain't done yet.
That's
and
good.
Neither are you. Bob Dee's Cosmosis is at Clavier House in Manhattan, West Side, 11th Avenue, 54th Street, Wednesday, September 10th. And that is
8 p.m. If you go on to, you could email me or go onto my website, www.bobdee.com. You could email me through there, or you could email me. You could actually pick up the record that I'll be celebrating on September 10th. My new record, New Moon, that came out about a month ago. We'll be celebrating that, and you can go to bobdee.bandcamp.com. That's BOBDEE.com, .bandcamp.com. And you can get in touch with me there if you want to be on the mailing list, and I'll keep you up to date and informed on what we're doing.
very cool. Very cool. Very recommended. We have been working our way through this live set at Knitting Factory. If you ever saw Jef Lee Johnson, there was a range of things you might find. This was just one more great night with this band. And hats off to the band, by the way, because they are obviously feeling his pulse every moment. That last one, Try and Fire, that was, well, all these songs, a lot of these songs, taking just a moment to mention Jef Lee Johnson's songwriting, which we talked about a little bit.
Yes.
These are, he's jamming out on these songs, but he makes reference, I guess this was fairly recently, he had released the album Blue, Jef Lee Johnson. The album's called Blue, B-L-U-E.
Right.
And a lot of these songs are on that, including this one that's coming up. And that is much more song-oriented. And he's doing these same songs, but, they're kind of turning it into these open-ended jams. But really want to just call attention to what a fine, expressive
composer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote a bunch of great stuff, man. He was a good song composer,
Yeah, and that's a...
And a good singer, too. Actually.
Yeah.
If you listen to him on the records, it's just, wow.
And those are rare gifts. That is not something you find on every corner.
I could sing, but I don't know if you really want to hear me sing. I can shout the blues, but Jef really had, man. I'm telling you, when I first heard him sing, I was like, it reminded me of what's his name?
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
There's my brain.
Yeah, there's some of that there for sure. Well, these songs, I mean, this is one of the standout songs from that album, Blue. It's the last one in the set. It's just listed here as Jungle. Took a little nap, woke up in the jungle. Let's close out this set, and we got some more great music coming for you. We're here for another 23 minutes. Let's go, go, go.
Cool.
It's Deep Focus. Wow. Bob Dee is here. I know.
Where's the time gone?
I know. I say that every time.
Yeah.
And it's music from Jef Lee Johnson on WKCR.
trying too hard if it should be easy. Who wanna be cheap for some relief? Took a little snap, woke up in a jumper.
Did not want that to end. Live music,
Just a little
obviously.
bit of
Yeah.
energy there.
Just a little left, a little something in the tank. Jef Lee Johnson. Jef Lee Johnson. JefLee Johnson. And our pal, our hero, man. And that's the reason why. And as my buddy and our fellow chief information officer, researcher, Charles Blast pointed out, today being the anniversary of Jimi Hendrix playing Woodstock concert.
Interesting.
And
That's interesting. Yeah.
Jeff dropping a few bombs there.
Yeah.
But always his own man. I mean, he certainly could evoke the spirit of
sure.
on command or not command,
Yes.
but always still his own man when he
Yes.
did or didn't. And that was just like we said, a master class. And I loved hearing those songs that I know so well from Blue. And I feel like maybe we're not quite doing justice to the songwriting, but we're more than making up for it with his guitar work. What a treat.
Yeah. Outstanding, really. I haven't heard that before, so that's just blows me away.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Bob Dee is here. Bob Dee and Jef Lee Johnson, bandmates with Ronald Shannon Jackson and the Decoding Society, Once Upon a Time. And we heard that set of music. If you missed any of this, if you're just tuning in now going, how did I not know about this? You're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to the Deep Focus podcast. It's free. You don't have to give us any information. You won't ever hear an advertisement or anything. It's we've got it.
You guys are not going to come and take the gas stoves, right?
No, definitely not. We're not in favor of anything except music. And totally free. But if you subscribe, you'll get a notification on your podcasting app when a new episode gets released. We usually put out about one a week, and there's over 400 of them available and searchable, and it's become a pretty rich archive, I would say, and it's there for you. So sign up, and this will come up in a couple of weeks, and you'll get to hear it all again or hear it for the first time if you're just tuning in now towards the end. So, we've got, we are getting down to it, but we've got more music. And one of the things we heard that one track from Downtown a little earlier from 2002. We've got another show from 2002. It was here in New York City at the Triad on West 72nd Street. And that night was a tribute to Sonny Schrock. And we've got, shall we jump into it? End the show with that. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Sounds like a good ending.
That sounds like
a great
ending.
night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What else? What do we got to tell the folks? Anything else on the table?
I think that's it, man.
Pretty much.
Everything has been said that could be said.
We squeezed all the juice out of this one. Jeff's still got tons more music. Me and you, maybe we're wrung out. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but, yeah.
It's a lot. I listened to Jeff this long, and it's like, wow. I mean, it's emotionally really brings you up, man. And I feel like I did a gig, man, myself.
yeah. It's still full on. No question about it. All right. Well, Bob Dee, thank you. Thank you for the inspiration and for coming through and all of your insight and everything. Really couldn't do without you, man.
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me here, Mitch.
A pleasure.
I've been listening to you for years, dude. You've been here for a long time.
thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
I know.
Oh, since, I don't know, was it 80s?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
Keep going, brother.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, take us out, man. Thank you. It's WKCR FM New York, WKCR HD, WKCR.org, 89.9 FM. It's Deep Focus. I'm Mitch Goldman here with Bob Dee and music from Jef Lee Johnson on WKCR. That's our show, but I want to hear from you, and I'm really curious to know if you knew the music of Jef Lee Johnson, if you just discovered it tonight, if you have a sweet memory of having heard him play. He toured and recorded so consistently for so many years, and I hope we made some new fans with this show. If you are one of them and you want to let us know, you can email us at deepfocusnow@gmail.com, deepfocusnow@gmail.com. That is also the address to use at PayPal. Some of you have gone that extra mile and made a financial contribution to keeping this show on the air. I don't even know how to say how meaningful that is. Personally, I mean, financially, Yes, 100%. It's no small thing. I mean, I feel so lucky that I get to do this show at all, and that I get to do a podcast with it, and it's finding new people. The only way the only way it grows is if you let somebody know. And so that includes, clicking 5 stars or I like it and making a comment on Apple Music or wherever you might listen to this. Makes a tremendous difference. And as does, folks have been sending in money. I mean, it lightens the load financially on me. It's just me, but also, the fact that you are willing to take the time and step out of your day-to-day life for a moment to actually make a financial contribution, just tells me I'm doing something right with this. And the only reason I do it is to try to give a little something back to this music. It's done so much for me. So I want to hear from you, and whatever way you can. I see everything. I see all the comments that you make. I see all the clicks and likes. I think we've had 47 people give us like on Apple Music, which is like 1/10,000th of what some of these popular, not even so popular, just like kind of more mainstream podcasts get. I'm not looking to compete with them. I just want people who might really love this music to know that there's a thing like this to come and find. And I see the comments that you guys send in when you do. I mean, I know there's a lot of very casual listeners, and that's great. That's great. But I know there's also some like really impassioned completists, and I'm kind of doing it for you. I'm doing it for anybody who wants to hear it, but I'm kind of doing it for you. All right. You tell me what's going on. deepfocusnow@gmail.com. All right, got some more bangers coming up. I'm going to see you right here.